Well, shit. Look at you being all smart. I guess law school did pay off. It didn't though, because I dropped out. Right, that fixed it then. No need for complex reasoning or advanced science degrees or engineering degrees when you can just shoot something. And that stabilizes it, as if by magic. Honestly, you'd make a perfect lawyer. That may be, but I don't want to be a lawyer. As a matter of fact, I've grown to loathe the legal field, as most of us do in the profession. Yeah, there's a reason that so many lawyers have problems with alcoholism and substance abuse and, drug abuse, things like that. It's a miserable profession. You deal with the most ungrateful of people who you can bill and bill and bill and bill. Your firm it'll never be enough for them. I've never once seen or encountered a truly, grateful client. You can tell they set hard boundaries of, it's like, I'm not going to do anything until you pay your bill. So I always make sure that whenever I have had to hire a lawyer, like my divorce lawyer, for example, I made sure first and foremost they got paid, because they weren't even going to so much as take a phone call from me unless they got their retainer replenished. Which is understandable. I mean, they've got to keep the lights on. This was someone who was in a small practice or even a solo practice. You really have to hustle then. But if you're really good and you really know what you're doing, you can make some good money. Like I said, it's a miserable profession overall in the end. And I don't want to be a part of it anymore. There's a reason so many lawyers make their exit after so many years. They just can't. They just can't. That's one thing stopping me from going into any law enforcement, because I do not have the mentality to deal with it. My mental state is to the point that if someone says one wrong thing, you're getting clocked. The key to your survival, especially your career survival in law enforcement, is to do the exact opposite of that. And basically have so much discipline that you can take all sorts of abuse, because that is going to be largely the daily life of a constable, of a police officer, is just dealing with an ungrateful, disgusting public that never truly appreciates what you do. And you are largely there as a tax collector with a badge and a gun. You are there to write tickets and bring in more revenue for your department, like a good civil servant. Keeping your head down, putting in approximately 20 to 30 years, especially really keeping your head down in the last 5 years, because that is when they are going to be looking for any excuse whatsoever to get rid of you so that they don't have to pay out that pension. It's sad but painful truth about law enforcement. Or even working in something like the district attorney's office or the public defender's office. I knew a lawyer, really bright, really just wonderful person, and very kind too. They had to get out of working public defense in the DA's office because they just knew it wasn't going to do them any favors mental health wise. Joke's on you, I'm already numb. Well, I mean, if you can kind of make yourself numb and basically put in your 20 years or something like that, however long it takes for you to get fully vested for your pension, put in enough time and you will be rewarded for it. I personally just could not take the drudgery. Of course, I went from one set of drudgery to another set of drudgery, and at this point I am just sort of doing the work that is required of me, going home, and then just putting all of my energy and focus into this, into streaming, into my relationship with my newfound girlfriend. I'm just working towards and making plans towards building a life with her. Honestly, with any professional drain you, even streaming can take a toll on you. Looks at my past mental breakdowns on stream from last year. Goodness gracious. You were burning a candle at both ends, weren't you, lad? Workaholism can be... It's easy to fall into that trap. I've done it myself plenty of times. My problem is I don't know when to take a break because I'm busy trying to be consistent so I can eventually make money off of this. Understood. That's one of the biggest challenges for a lot of people, is learning their limitations. I myself... Potatoes in my eyes. Thank you for the rare Deus Ex Male Death Screen redeem. But yeah, it's all about learning your limitations. What were you going to say, Rex? You started off with I myself and got cut off. Oh, yes, I myself have actually worked so hard and so long that I actually gave myself a mental breakdown. I had a nervous breakdown and had to take time off of work, which is what I was trying to avoid. You know, learning limits and then surpassing them. Yeah. Try and stretch your limits if possible, but also know where those hard limits are. Don't gamble with your sanity. It's not worth it. That's my worst trait. After the first mental breakdown, I went back to streaming like nothing happened because I hate making people worry. Yeah, people will understand. The ones that matter, anyway. And the ones that don't, you don't need them. They don't need to be your fans. Sorry for bringing the mood down. Just feel like mental health is kind of ignored when it comes to streaming, at least from the viewer POV. Oh no, it's fine, it's fine. I'm happy to have the conversation. I do know I've had my own mental health struggles earlier this year, but that was mainly caused by external forces, namely certain individuals that just seem to have a real problem with me being happy. And also with Genevieve being happy. Yeah, those people eventually fucked up so badly that they graduated from VTubing and left the space. No need to apologize. It's important to talk about these things. Yeah, absolutely. And that's, you know, that's what we're here for. You know, these sort of frank and grown-up conversations. I enjoy having them because they're quite stimulating to me. It's good to pursue one's passions, but yeah, at the same time, know your limitations. Stretch them when you can, but definitely know where the limits are. And if you need a break, take a break. Because there's more to life than just work, or streaming, or content creation. And your fan base will still be there when you get back. They'll understand. Yeah, I'm honestly glad that you and Jen could get out of there. Yeah, it was getting bad. Especially for me, but I know it was also stifling for her. Burnout's a real thing. It sucks when it happens, yeah. I think that was one of the big reasons I left the radio, was because I was just honestly so burnt out. And did not see, but also I didn't really see any opportunity for me sticking around. I just knew it was going to continue to shrink. I knew it was a matter of time before that company I was working for declared bankruptcy. And I knew that people were not getting their entertainment in the same way that they used to. Until I could figure that out, I just felt it best to make my exit from the business. Honestly, funny enough, the first mental breakdown happened the same day I turned in my English poem. I wrote on the topic of being tired of running from everything and hiding it. Now you're in a profession you enjoy and you found Jen. Yeah. So it all worked out in the end. We're both just working and sort of grinding for the day when don't necessarily have to go to a day job anymore. We could just do this full time, which personally would be fantastic. I love this sort of democratization of and greater availability and lower barriers of entry to entertainment. These sorts of largely open platforms where you can create whatever it is you want to create, even earn revenue from it. It's really never been a better time to be in a creative field. Burnout is the reason why I haven't applied for any organizations as content creator, because the content creator manager at Outlaws wanted me to be consistent for 6 months straight. I was like, yeah, fuck you. I mean, that is the key to growth, is consistency. But you have to balance that with just breaks, you know? I try to give myself at least 1 or 2 days out of the week where I don't do anything. Where I don't have to worry about streaming. I might make a guest appearance over on Jen's channel, but that's the extent of it. Now, there's some weeks where I might break that rule. Ouch.